Mayor, we're ready.
We're calling this meeting to order. This is our special council meeting, December 18th, 2024. It is now 11:14 a.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nico Reynoso.
Present.
Councilman Rafael Pinedo.
Present.
Councilwoman Dina Cabral.
Present.
Vice Mayor Maureen Porras.
Here.
Mayor Christy Fraga.
Present.
Mayor have quorum.
Okay, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Pinedo. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, agenda order of business. I don't believe there's anything. We'll open up the public comments at this time. Public comments is now open. Anybody would like to speak, please approach the podium. You have 3 minutes to speak to this council in a respectful manner. I do have one comment card from Mr. Michael Pizzi. Please approach the podium.
Good morning. Michael Pizzi, Esquire. I'm an attorney. My office is 6625 Miami Lakes Drive. First, let me congratulate the mayor on her reelection and the new council member for getting a chance to serve the public. And it's really an honor and privilege to be in maybe the best-looking council chamber in the country. And I'm humbled to be in front of people who are serving the public. A couple of concerns about the legislation. I think that it's my hope that it will be removed from the agenda or that it will be tabled or removed for a couple of important reasons. The Citizens' Bill of Rights of your city, which it says the right to be heard. It says the council, this is the most important provision of your charter. It says the council shall adopt agenda, procedures, and schedule hearings that will enhance public participation. And it also says on the right to notice, copies of proposed ordinances or resolutions must, or mandated to be available at a reasonable time prior to the hearing. And in this particular case, the legislation was in the drafting stages less than 24 hours, maybe less than 16 hours before the hearing. So the charter requires reasonable notice and a reasonable time for the people to look at the item and come and give their comment based on having an open, transparent government, which everybody wants, which I'm sure everybody wants in this city. I'm sure we all want transparency. So having an item that was in the working stages and going in the drafting stages, going through different drafts, maybe less than 24 hours before the hearing, that does not meet that standard, and thus going forward today with that item would render the item null and void and be illegal. So I really think that at a minimum, this should be scheduled with reasonable time for the commission and the public. Because if somebody went online yesterday, even one day before the hearing, and one of your citizens tried to get a copy of it, they couldn't, it wasn't available, it wasn't online. So that would not be fair. So I think that for that reason alone, this matter should not be heard today. And finally, section 2.02 of your charter provides for a mayor and a vice mayor. It's very, very clear. And I will end, that we have a minute. How much time do I have left? I can't.
You've got 42 seconds.
What?
40 seconds.
Okay, what I would say is, in another lifetime, maybe about 20 years and 60 pounds ago, when I was wearing a mayor's chair 20 years ago, my biggest fear is that a commission might just not like the mayor, and they might vote by a majority vote to direct the staff to take away my gavel, take away my chair, take me off the website, and not give me any literature or staff. So my concern was that a majority council that didn't like the mayor or the vice mayor, they might just thwart the will of the public and vote to, if this passes, nothing prevents a future commission from voting to take away the gavel, the staff, and the website of any elected official. So in conclusion, Mayor, thank you, Mayor. In conclusion, famous last words, in conclusion, Mayor, I would say that this ordinance is in violation of the city charter because it imposes restrictions and makes amendments to the city charter. And the city charter can only be amended by a plebiscite and a referendum of the public. So for purposes of transparency, and because this runs contrary to the charter and might present a really dangerous precedent for the majority overturning, I would ask that you not pass this item or remove it from the agenda
Thank you, Mr.
or
Pizzi.
vote no. And thank you for the courtesy, Mayor. Congratulations to all the new commissioners. And have a wonderful and happy holiday season. It's
Thank
an
you.
honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other public comments at this time? Being none, public comments is now closed, and we will move into discussion items. Madam Clerk.
Discussion item 5A, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, streamlining the vice mayor role in order to reduce confusion and promote fiscal responsibility, providing for implementation and providing for an effective date.
All right, thank you very much. Councilwoman Reynoso, this is your item.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Through the chair, this is my item. I believe that the memo states my intent, and this is not eliminating the position of vice mayor. It's just eliminating certain costs associated with the position that I feel would be better used in other programs that I would like the residents to be able to enjoy instead of spending the cost that we did on certain apparel, stationery, and materials. That's all.
All right, thank you very much, Councilwoman. Any other comments or questions at this time?
Through the mayor.
Yes. You have the floor.
Mr. Attorney, can you give your legal opinion on this, please?
Vice Mayor, legal opinion as to what in particular?
The entire ordinance. Did you help write this ordinance
It's a resolution.
or resolution?
I was provided with a copy of the original resolution, of which I looked at and, in consultation with the councilwoman, made certain corrections and modifications to it. As it stands right now, the resolution states what the role of the vice mayor is, which is specifically, as it states in 2.02, to be there in place and have all the role, responsibilities, and privileges of the mayor in her absence or in her incapacity. This is, as I see it, really defining that role a little bit more and discussing issues with regards to the budget. The budget is not contemplated anywhere in the charter as to any position, either it be a council member, mayor, or vice mayor.
Mr. Attorney, how many drafts did you publish of this resolution?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure that I would be best to talk about publication. That's not my function. That is better, I think, that the clerk might be able to answer that question.
Through the mayor.
Yes.
Vice Mayor, this item was originally placed on the December 18 meeting. It was removed. Councilwoman Reynoso then called a special meeting, which the same resolution provided was published on that agenda. Subsequently, that same agenda was revised one more time with the city attorney's draft, and then the last revision was simply of the caption of the resolution.
Madam Clerk, can you provide copies of the first resolution to all my colleagues and also make them available for the public to take one, please?
You have them?
Yes, I have them. So there were 3 different drafts of this resolution. The first draft, Mr. Attorney, here, if you can confirm, you did not help draft, correct?
I did not.
And why did you feel compelled to draft or help modify the first resolution?
It is my practice with all of you, all the entire council and the mayor. When you have items, I usually am able to sit down with you, look at the draft, and make my opinions as to its conformity with law, code, and the charter. And that's my function as your city attorney. With regards to Councilwoman Reynoso, and this is probably due to the fact that, again, she just got elected, so she doesn't know necessarily all the rules, and I have not had the opportunity really to sit down with her and give her a full review of the charter, of our rules and our ordinances. So this is completely, she did not know. She went ahead and she forwarded the draft. She put a placeholder, she forwarded the draft to the clerk and to myself. It was not sufficient time for us to really be able to put much input. And then subsequently, because she had not been properly sworn in, that item was pulled, and she called properly, as she did, for the special call. At the time she called for the special call, she was a councilwoman, and she had the resolution. I did have an opportunity. She's not a full-time council person, so she has limited time in her schedule. We were able to work in time to be able to review some of my suggestions. She accepted some of them. She rejected others. And what you have is the final copy. I think the spirit of what she was trying to accomplish is here, but I think that a lot of the things that I felt did not conform with charter, code, or law were amended in order to have this product that you have before you.
So to confirm, the first draft you found had some sections that were a violation of the charter.
I felt that there were some things that, in the manner that they were written, that were violative of the charter, of your code, and that's again, I just want to put that on the record. That's not uncommon for any resolution draft or ordinance that comes before me. Again, that's my job, and that's why you all hire me.
Thank you. If you look at it's page 2, section 2. Mr. Attorney, give me your legal opinion on the lawfulness of that section, and if you believe it conforms with the charter-specific section listing that there shall be a vice mayor.
So the section that discusses the role of the mayor and the vice mayor is Article 2 of your charter. Article 2 of your charter, I'm just pulling it up real quick. It's starts by Article 2, says titled City Council, semicolon Mayor. And Section 2.01 says City Council, and it discusses there shall be a city council, the council vested with all legislative powers of the city, consisting of 4 council members and the mayor. Collectively, council and the mayor are the members of the council. Council members shall occupy seats numbered 1 through 4. Then the charter continues to Section 2.02. A and B. A is the mayor. The mayor shall preside at meetings of the council and be a voting member of the council. In addition, the mayor shall have the following specific responsibilities, and it lists them 1 through 5, which is present state of the city, and now I'm paraphrasing, create and subject to council approval committees, be recognized as head of city government, be the official designated person to represent the city in all dealings, and execute contracts. And then it goes on to Part B, vice mayor. And then it specifically says, during the absence or incapacity of the mayor, comma, the vice mayor shall have all the powers, comma, authority, comma, duties, and responsibilities of the mayor, period. And then it goes on to say the manner in which a council member is, a vice mayor is chosen. It says, at the council meeting following the certification of the election results for the regular city election or any calendar year when there is no regular city election, at the first council meeting in the month of November, the vice mayor shall be appointed to serve a 1-year term as follows, and then it goes on to select that formula. So, number 2, it says that all members of the city council shall equally be identified as council member. I mean, that's in conformity with Section 2.01 in public communications materials and official documents. The rotating vice mayor position, which is described in Section B, 2.02B as rotating, shall not be separately advertised or promoted to avoid confusion regarding its temporary and non-elected nature. The issue of going ahead and the city promoting or having functions of promoting it is really up to the city to create a policy with regards to that. But that in no way removes and cannot remove the fact that there is a vice mayor who is appointed. You are the vice mayor of the city. I don't think that this is removing that right. I don't think that this board has the right to remove that title from you. However, you are also a council member, as is everyone else. That's also an equal reality.
So again, do you believe that Section 2 is or is not in violation of the city charter?
The way that it's written at this time, I do not see it as a violation of the city charter.
Okay, thank you. Madam Clerk, can you tell us what items have been
I'm sorry, you're talking about the first draft or the final draft?
final draft?
The final draft, okay, because what I have before me is, let me I got confused here for a second. I'm looking at the.
Yeah, that's right. We
at the
have
draft.
about 3 different drafts.
Well, I have one draft that this is the first and one that I worked on. No, the way that it's written is not violative of the city charter.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you tell us what items have already been purchased for the vice mayor and how far in advance they get purchased?
So we have purchased business cards, note cards, envelopes, letterhead. Those get purchased at the beginning of the fiscal year in October, and we're in the process of finalizing the orders for the logo wear. That's for yourself and for your chief of staff.
And what do you currently have in your office that's been purchased?
The business cards, letterheads, envelopes, note cards,
So
envelopes.
that's already been purchased?
Correct. I already have it in my office to give it to you today.
Okay, great. And Mr. City Manager, what items have already been purchased for the vice mayor rotation and how much do they cost?
I'll defer to the
To who?
I'll defer to the clerk to the items that have been purchased. I don't have an exact cost. I don't have that information.
Well,
The items that I've purchased for the vice mayor's office, which is all of those things.
so public affairs is not under the clerk. So what items has public affairs already purchased or paid for the vice mayor rotation? If you don't have the answer, maybe you can bring someone from your
I
staff.
will defer to our public affairs director, who has the information.
Yes, good morning. So far, what's been purchased are the name tags for the portraits. So that's what we have.
And through the mayor, what is the estimated cost of purchasing items for the vice mayor rotation, including advertisements, city bus benches, everything that comes along with all of that?
So the portrait name tags are, I want to say, about $100 or so. The other thing we have pending are the trolley bus benches, which get updated with the photos, just the decals, and that's about $2,000.
Okay. Are there any additional costs?
No, because the other updates we do are mostly on digital materials.
And that's free, right? That doesn't cost, it has no cost?
Correct, they're designed in-house.
Okay, and thank you. Madam Clerk, what is the cost of the items that you have right now?
Approximately all of the stationery business cards, et cetera, that we've ordered, note cards, et cetera, probably about $1,000. I'm not certain about the logo wear. I can get that for you.
Okay, and the logo wear that we have already requested,
Correct?
that's about 1,000, you said?
I would have to get the cost for you. That I
Additional
don't
one.
have it, yes.
Okay, thank you. And then back to the city manager. Did you review this item or do your evaluation as per the rules of procedure to estimate the cost for these,
I
the
did
fiscal
not.
impact?
I did not.
Okay,
Through the chair,
wait.
can I just ask one question?
Please allow her to finish.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Manager, you did not review the item and did not do the fiscal impact evaluation?
I did not.
Okay. Is there anyone in your office that can say an estimate or approximate cost of these replacement items? Because so far, I have $3,000 to $4,000, right? Is there anyone in your office, Mr. Manager?
Well, I will defer to Public Works, who handles the bus benches.
We just heard of the bus benches, which is $2,000. Are there any additional costs that anyone else here in the city, perhaps the deputy manager? Yes.
Yeah, if I can, we would have to do a full inventory of what would have to be changed. On top of that is how far, what direction we would get on, is it just a cost for this year or year over year? Because that cost that matters based on the direction given, because it'll be for multiple years as well.
Right, thank you. And so, we're doing this analysis here because it wasn't done before. So from what I'm seeing, it looks like the cost is around $3,000 or $4,000, and the majority of those costs have already been spent. Right? Okay. That's all I have for now as far as questions. I will come back with a second comment at the end. Thank you.
Okay, Councilman Cabral, you had a comment.
If I may, well, I have a few questions. Councilwoman, I know that you brought this because you are, what it says here, and I know that there have been many changes within the resolution, but my understanding is that you're concerned on the expenditure for making these changes or to advertise who is in the cycle
Connie.
of being the next vice mayor. Could you please share with us how much is the number that you have that you're so concerned that the cost of all of this? Because our city manager doesn't have any information about that, how much is the cost. So could you please share how much is it? How many hundred of thousands of dollars this is gonna cost to the city?
Through the mayor.
Yes.
So there was a concerned resident during my time campaigning that had brought up to my attention a letter that was sent from the councilwoman's office, basically delineating that she was going to be vice mayor. And that cost, based on the cost that I have spent on certain things that were sent when I was campaigning, could be $5,000, $10,000 when it comes to the letter that was actually sent, the stamps, the person that was tasked to send out and organize. So there's other costs other than just that letter that also go into it. So, and there's other costs other than what we just went through right now that could be expended through the vice mayor's office. So it doesn't have to be hundreds of thousands of dollars. It doesn't even have to be $10,000s. It's just being fiscally responsible. And I believe, based on what I've heard from residents, that even if it's $1,000, even if it's $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, it could go to programs. It can go to our senior club bingos. It could be used to really benefit our residents. So that would be my comment. And
Well, so it seems that you're based on what you think, not really on the exact numbers of how much this. I mean, the thing is that when I bring something to the dais, I have to talk, based on facts. I have to have the numbers. I always ask how much is the cost of this, how much is the impact. So you don't have that information. You're basing on whatever you were doing during the campaign that is different from also the budget that we have here. Also, if you see our budget, and that's something that I've been always very open and transparent talking about it, you have to see how much it was our budget, how much we spent before the last budget, that we're talking that went from $81 million to $121 million. So I think that should be something that you will be able to be, that you during your campaign were a little bit more aware and a little bit more worried than really this. The other question is that my understanding is that your cards, if it's not my mistake or I can clarify, the business card and all of that comes from each of our offices. And that is a budget that we have assigned directly to us that we can use it on the things that we need for our office. So that should not be restricted. So many of the things that I guess that she's asking, did it came from any other budget aside from her budget, from her office budget?
No, they each come from each individual.
Exactly. So it's been coming from there. So I don't see what is the issue with that. The other thing is that anyway, every year we have to, well, not every year, but at least every 2 years, we have to change because different people get elected. So that is something that is in the budget. So this is mainly for me, it's just political because it's not showing a difference of why are we having this discussion? Why are you going after her to be able to do what all of us had the opportunity to do? Like I was the vice mayor. My information was there. Everybody knows that this is a rotating position. It's not something that is set of stone that you are the vice mayor. And no, we all rotate. And at least I can tell you that I've been very, very responsible on that. When my term is down, is up, right away remove everything. Everything has to be removed. And I make sure that anywhere I go, everybody understand that this is a rotating. When my time is up, I go back as a councilwoman. So I don't think that the community, it's so that they don't understand. I mean, we have a very smart community, so I don't think that they're being confused. Who's the vice mayor, what's not? The chart is clear, exactly what is that is your duty as a vice mayor. So I really see this just mainly political. Most of everything has been already done. And the clerk and well, the city manager, it's not, he's a little bit confused on the expenditure, but I can tell you that it's being already done. So I really don't understand why are we having this conversation. I don't think that that looks good on you, that you are doing this coming into office, already attacking our vice mayor when you're
Okay,
going to be a
Madam
vice mayor once. So I have
Councilwoman,
my understanding
Councilwoman
that
Cabral.
I have like 5 minutes.
Point of order, point of order.
I have 5 minutes.
Point of order.
5 minutes.
Yes, but learn
So-
rules of procedure. Point of order. You will be respectful.
I am respectful.
No,
I
you're
have
not being respectful.
Listen, I have not cursed or said
Nobody
anything.
needs.
No,
nobody,
no.
Nobody's character needs to
No,
be.
so I have not even shouted.
Point of order, which means I have the floor. I have
That's
the floor.
fine. Yeah,
I have the
I
floor at this
understand.
time.
But you-
No, meaning I have the floor means you stop talking.
Yeah, and then I'm going to talk because this is my
Means you
First
stop
Amendment
talking
too,
for a
and
second.
I'm not attacking anybody. I'm just giving an advice.
Nobody. This is not a place to give advice.
I can
Excuse
give
me one
advice.
second. Point of order means I have the floor. I'm not sure you understand what that
I
means.
do understand. So
You continue to speak.
yeah,
We will respect each other. Number one, you are questioning character. That is not a debate, nor is it questioning on the item. Your questions were in line up to that point. I will not allow it. So please refrain from questioning character of any of your colleagues. We will no longer allow that. For far too long, we have endured your political attacks up here. So please be respectful, ask your questions, and we will move on. That will be the will of this council moving forward. So I will allow you to to continue your questioning as long as you refrain from character questioning. Understood?
I have not attacked, I mean, that's your opinion to anybody. I'm just putting here clear to try to understand and to be on the record that this is really just a political trying to do a damage to the vice mayor because nobody has been able to. I'm still talking.
No, but you
I
continue.
still have the floor. So the thing is that I was looking into the numbers too. To me, it doesn't make any sense. That's why I was trying to understand. She has everything, most of everything that have been already spent.
5 minutes.
It has been already from the councilwoman, vice mayor office. Then the rest is what we usually always do. Every year we did the same thing with the vice mayor Pinedo. We did the same thing with the vice mayor Oscar Puig, with me, with everybody, even with you when you were the vice mayor, twice. So I don't understand this. So I just wanted to put into the record that definitely I don't agree with this. I really think that this is just a nonsense
Thank you very
use of
much.
our
You've
time.
put your comments on the record.
And attacking a fellow council member when you all have been saying, let's work united, let's work united. This doesn't reflect that.
Thank you very much for your comments. Okay. If there's no other comments, I will go ahead and make some comments now myself.
I'm going to do follow-up comments. You can make your comments, Mayor.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and make my comments. First of all, I do not appreciate, Councilwoman, that when I call point of order, you do not follow instruction on procedure, okay? Next time I will get to our parliamentarian so he can clarify for you. But I would recommend that you brush up on rules of procedure. Number two, thank you, Councilwoman Reynoso, for bringing this forward. I don't think that this has to do, first of all, with anything other than making sure that there's clarity on what this position is. As the deputy city manager said, the expense is a compounded one. Every year it compounds. Yes, it comes from individual budgets, but there's unnecessary expenditures on promotional and advertising that gets disrupted because of a rotating position. No one is eliminating the vice mayor position. All that we are asking for in this resolution, the way it was written by the city attorney, which I sat with him and reviewed after the first draft, and now there's only been 2 drafts, not 3. I think the only thing that changed was the title yesterday, because I questioned it as well, is that there be no confusion in the public of the elected position, because I get calls every single time of, oh, why is there an election? I just got a text message 5 minutes ago. I can read it on the record that said, why is now Councilwoman Porras vice mayor? I didn't vote for that. And I can read it on the record, someone confused about it. So I think to eliminate confusion, it's important to set structure. No one's saying we're not going to recognize as vice mayor. No one is saying that the website will not reflect vice mayor. All we're saying is that there should not be additional expenditures so that people are misguided as to what that position, and actually I disagree with the rotating vice mayor. I've said that several times. When it went up in the charter amendment, I opposed it. I said that there should be an elected vice mayor position. And maybe that's something that a charter commission, or that at some point the charter should be reviewed and be changed, because I think that the people's will is extremely important to decide on that position. Those things can be abused. I also received the letter that came out of the councilwoman's office a month ago saying, I will now be the vice mayor, spent by taxpayers, very campaigny, okay, I think questionable campaigning, and to my understanding, it only went to voters. It did not go to every household. So, which is something else I'll look into at some point. So I think that those are the things, and I got several text messages of residents that sent me that saying, what is this? So I understand the councilwoman's concerns after knocking on thousands of doors where people have said, you know, I'm super confused as how this happens. I went to an event the other day and they introduced Councilman Pinedo as Vice Mayor Pinedo, and we had to correct them and say, oh, it's not, you know, he's not the Vice Mayor right now. So we do that as well. But similar to like when the Chief of Staffs, the councilwoman was worried that the Chief of Staff of the mayor was going to confuse everybody, that, oh, the Chief of Staff of the mayor directs the entire staff of the city. And so when we changed all the Chief of Staffs, all the legislative analysts that became Chief of Staffs for equality. This is very similar to that model. So we're just being consistent into what has been asked of this council previously. So I don't see why anybody would have a problem with this. This isn't about ego or anything other than I think there should be clarity so that we're not having compounded expenses that are unnecessary for our community. I agree. Even if it's $1,000, it's $1,000 for the senior club, for the silver club, to make their lunch a little bit nicer so they don't get public sandwiches. So I am all for making sure that our finances are used responsibly towards the public, towards the best interests of the residents, not for business cards or t-shirts or mailers that are going out to let people know I'm this title now. So I think it's good public policy. I support it. I don't see anything wrong. I don't question the way it was written. I actually don't even question the way the first draft was written. Now, our city attorney is here to make sure that all of our items are legally sufficient. There's several times that I will draft something, send it to him, and he will say, look, I think that this is more in line with what our charter or our ordinance say. You know, we want to make sure that we are protecting the city from any possible litigation or you know, or legal challenge, and that's why he's here. So from the first draft to the second draft, I think the spirit of what was trying to be communicated was communicated. I would have had no problem with the first draft, but I respect our city attorney who's here for the purposes of keeping our city protected legally. I don't see a problem with the second draft, because it does make sure that there is a checks and balances for the equality of the position. That's all. I'm not in favor of a rotating vice mayor position, but that's what the charter has. We will respect that. I will respect that, with the limitations that the charter allows for us to create policy. That's all this council is doing. Within our rights, we are able to create policy. We are legislators. The councilwoman was elected to create legislation and policy. That's what she's doing. She has every right to do so. Anybody who doesn't like it, I understand. We're not going to always agree on everything. I would hope most things we would agree on that are good for our community. I do believe that this is a way of being fiscally conservative, responsible for our community, but also being consistent in how we have treated members of this council in the past and moving forward. So that's my comments. I have no problem with it. I think it's a good step in setting a precedent for the future. Just because we've done something in the past doesn't mean we should continue to do it in the future. The definition of crazy is doing something the same way and expecting a different outcome. Those are my comments.
Through the mayor, follow up.
Yes, Councilwoman Porce, Vice Mayor Porce.
You just mentioned that you and the city attorney changed the title?
I
that
did
correct?
not change the title. I said I reviewed it.
No, she reviewed it.
And you changed the title based on her recommendation?
No.
No, I didn't change the title at all.
I'm s- You did not change the title?
I did not, and I think the councilwoman and the clerk could answer that question. After I provided the draft to the clerk, and the councilwoman, I guess, I mean, explain it. I don't understand how that happened, so that was not my doing.
I can answer. Through the mayor, vice mayor, no, I had the opportunity to view the final draft that was published, and I did not agree with the title. Therefore, I let the clerk and the city attorney know of the edits that I wanted the title of the resolution to change. And just another thing that I want to address as well, my colleague.
Councilwoman, do you mind? I still have the floor. I just asked.
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
no, it's okay. No worries. I want to get through and then I'm sure, So, okay, so again, we can, not now, but we do have a record of the statement. So, Mr. Attorney, can you confirm? Because the mayor said that she sat down with you, did not agree with the title, and you changed it,
That's not what I said.
right?
That's not what I said at all. I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said I saw that the title changed. That's all I said. I reviewed the
Got it.
first one, I reviewed the second one, and then I saw the title change.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. So I'm going to reiterate the following things. The cost, or at least half of the cost that comes with the changes in the vice mayor come from my budget. So unless you are restricting my budget and not anyone else's, this is completely unfair and also wrong. The cost so far that we have is about $3,000 to $4,000, and we don't have an actual figure because the city manager did not review and evaluate or provide a fiscal impact on this item. All of the items right now that we have already been ordered and are in our possession, in the city's possession, okay? I'm really, truly disappointed, honestly, first with our attorneys. I feel that instead of providing proper legal advice, it was decided that they were going to try to write a resolution that would bend the charter, which is our ultimate rule of law. The charter can only be amended through referendum. This is a complete violation. I also question the good faith intent of this resolution. I think that if this was really good public policy and for the community, it would have been available for the community to review with enough advance notice. Instead, we had 3 different iterations, drafts of this, including the first one, which again goes into my doubts about the good faith intent. The first one, and it's available to the public, clerk, you have it, right? So anyone that wants to pick up a copy can look at the first one. The first one actually said, council member serving as the rotating vice mayor shall refrain from publicizing themselves as such in a manner that misleads residents about the role's temporary and non-elected status. So they were trying to prevent me, the vice mayor, from saying I was vice mayor. And if this was found, if I was found to be politicizing myself, there were going to be penalties. This is from the first one, and by the way, anyone can read the first one. The second draft, which had a different title as well, the title said it would eliminate the vice mayor's budget, which I guess is the title that was changed, right? Who knows? We'll never know. And so this is something that is in complete violation of the charter, and I'm just going to say this to my fellow council members, especially the author of this resolution who wants to be an attorney. Any conduct that you
Madam
make.
Councilwoman, again, apparently you did not hear when I asked Councilwoman Cabral to please refrain from any character.
Okay,
Question.
noted, thank you. Can I move forward?
As long as you are not
Yes, yes.
disrespectful, otherwise we're going to call the question.
Yes, can I move forward? Thank you. Can I move forward? Yes. Can I move forward? Thank you. Can I move forward? Yes. 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 Can I move forward? I really think that we really have to look and make sure that our conduct here is something that is of integrity and can really demonstrate us abiding by the rules of the city as well as the state laws, all the laws. And right now, I don't believe that this is happening here in the council. I think that's something I can absolutely say. And so obviously, I'm in opposition, and I'm hoping that my council members here, especially the ones that have been vice mayors in the past, are going to take this resolution seriously and understand that this is going to create a very dangerous precedent, and it is very, very open and amenable to being challenged. So, and that's it.
Thank you very much. Any other comments or questions? Yes, Mr. Kobiella.
I just want to put something on the record because our office was mentioned. Prior to the preparation for today's items, there were several, and I mentioned it briefly to Councilman Pinheiro. One of the items was his with regards to the policy on the keys and such. I made several corrections to that policy because there were several things that were incorrect. One of them was, mentioning the vice mayor. The vice mayor is there's roles to act in the absence of the mayor. The charter is very clear as far as the vice mayor. This particular draft, and it was something that I'm sure is not going to happen again. And again, we have a very eager councilwoman who wanted to, hit the ground running, and things had to be done after the fact. Usually, a lot of these corrections are done before the fact, and we go back with all of you. I've done the same thing, and we go back and we correct it, and we massage it to be something that will be in conformity, in my opinion, with the charter, and that's what you have me here to do. The way that it's written, the whereas clauses, it just pretty much recites the charter. It really does nothing else. The only thing that it does in Section 2 and Section 3 is it does create cost reductions, which, again, I don't believe is in the charter and is in your purview of how you wish to handle that. And second of all, with regards to establishing the guardrails, all it says is that the vice mayor is a council person. That's a fact in the charter, and that the councilperson's title shall be council member / vice mayor. You can have that. You don't have to have that. At the end of the day, I'm sorry for calling you the pronoun, Vice Mayor Porras is the vice mayor of the city of Doral, and there is nothing that we can do to take that away from her, or that we should. It's in the charter, and it's the way that it is. It's the will of the residents of the city of Doral. So I know that not all of you will always like the quality of my work, and you may not always like my opinion, but I did do it in just looking at the law and making sure that it's in conformity with the law. That's what I will always try to do.
Thank you, Mr. Kobiella. Did you have any comments,
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso?
Thank you. Through the mayor, with all due respect to my colleagues, this is not going after a particular council member. This is something, again, that was brought up to my attention. And really, if it would have been Councilwoman Cabral, if it would have been Councilman Pinedo, I would have brought up the item the same. This is my first item. This is my first time as a council member. It was the opportunity that I had to bring it up. And that's all the comment that I would like to make. Thank you.
Through the chair.
Thank you, Councilwoman. All right,
the
I think we've
chair?
exhausted this item.
Through the chair. I feel this is the second round, so I think that I have to have my opportunity to speak
Okay,
like everybody
Councilwoman.
else.
Go ahead.
So going again, at the end, the residents are the ones seeing what's going on and how petty really this resolution is. Like I repeat again, we have spent much more money on other things that are not necessary. We're talking 40 millions above the budget that it was approved. So I don't think that this will limit to help any of our residents. We're talking about the Silver Club, we're talking about the special needs, the parks, any of the different events or any other community engaged that we would like to do by the amount that not even any of you, including yourself, exactly knows the exact or very close amount of how much that we're spending. And my understanding is more than half of it is already spent through the office of the vice mayor. So this says a lot, really sends a message. I really feel for the vice mayor that has to go through this when this is her first time that she's serving with this capacity, this title. And I really wish that on your first item, I think that there's much more important things that only to see where maybe $5,000 is going. When there are even different entities of the community, foundations and things like that, that much more money has been spent, and I haven't really seen what they have done for the community. So I think that that has to be taken consideration, and I hope that the residents can see how petty this is and what they're trying to do, either for any personal, not personal reason to the vice mayor, something that has never been done to any of the vice mayors that have rotated since the beginning in the city.
Okay, thank you very much for your opinion. All right, just to close, I want to put on the record the 2 letters that I received from residents showing taxpayer money being spent to campaign as vice mayor. For the record, I'll put
Madam
those, I
Mayor,
had them.
why
I
are you
have the
saying I'm
floor at this-
campaigning?
I had this on the floor, I have the floor
Did
right
you
now.
not just call us out for character?
I have the floor right now.
Yeah,
Are you admitting it or no?
I have
being
the floor at this
accused.
time.
Do you admit it?
I have the floor at this time.
Keep saying that I was campaigning.
I have the
Yeah,
floor.
you're being
Thank you
accused.
very much. I have the floor at this time. So just to close this item, very quickly, I think that there's been a lot of accusations made. There's been a lot of things said. You know, it's really unfortunate how, you know, we're hypocritical about the way we handle things because, you know, if anybody has violated the charter before, it was in how we did certain selections of the city manager previously. You know, I was told to sue the city if I didn't like the decision that was being made from this council. So, you know, it's really unfortunate. I understand that there may be things, like I said, that we don't always agree on, but I think that there needs to be respect for the will of the council. And I respect the item that was brought forward. I don't see anything wrong with it. And I think it sets really good guardrails for setting protocols and procedures moving forward on this position until it's changed in the charter. So thank you very much for the discussion. I think we need a motion.
Motion.
Motion to approve by Councilwoman Reynoso, second by Councilman Pinedo. Is there any direction from staff that's needed? I just want to make sure we're all very clear. No? We've got clarity of what we're doing here?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, okay. Just want to make sure. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Motion to approve made by Councilwoman Reynoso, seconded by Councilman Pinedo. Councilwoman Reynoso.
Yes.
Councilman Pinedo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral.
No?
Vice Mayor Porras. Mayor Fraga.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Next item.
Next item, item 5B, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, directing and authorizing the mayor to work with the city manager's office to propose improvements to existing public affairs department in communication policies and protocols for community engagement, outreach, and events, providing for implementation and providing for an effective date.
Okay, Councilwoman Reynoso, this is your item. Before we move on, I also want to just mention, I'm going to be implementing the clock moving forward on our discussion items. Madam Clerk?
Through the mayor, again, I think my memo is suffice.
Hold on, Councilwoman Reynoso. Councilwoman Porras, are you being excused? Yes. Okay, thank you. Please note on the record, thank you very much.
Okay.
Councilwoman
Again,
Reynoso?
thank you through the mayor. I think my memo is suffice explaining this item as well.
All right, thank you very much. Any comments?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilman Pinedo.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Reynoso. I just want to make a quick comment on this. I appreciate this item because I think, and I'm sure you've experienced this as when you worked here and even
As a
over the past
resident.
2 years, that there's a need for some clarity on protocols and procedures through public affairs. And so thank you for asking and allowing me to work with the city manager's office to create those policies and procedures as a spokesperson of the city. I think it's important that there is guidelines. And so I will bring forward something to this council that I think will be amenable to all of us. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have a motion
Madam
to, I'm sorry, I have a motion to approve made by Councilman Pinedo, seconded by Councilwoman Reynoso. Councilman Pinedo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral.
Well, I haven't had the opportunity to give my comments, so if I may, before my vote?
Actually, we're already roll
motion.
calling at this time. Sorry, we did ask if there was any comments.
Okay.
Councilwoman Cabral.
So I just hope that everybody, that when you work with the city, with the,
Councilwoman, at
with the
this time,
city,
we're
yeah,
only
with the
doing
city
roll
manager,
call.
you remember that this is the voice of all five of us. But my vote is no.
Mayor Fraga.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you very much. We need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Councilwoman Cabral, second by Councilman Pinedo. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.